we at least have it. You feel what I'm saying? Do that so we at least have it in the background. We know what's going on. We're live. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. This is the Birds of a Feather podcast. It's your boy Q City.
Your boy Todd Bravado.
And this is episode 42. How was the show, Mrs. Lincoln? Let me tell y'all where I got this name, right? If you asked me how this weekend went, I would have told you this weekend was amazing, bro. The Saints beat the Bucks. Green Bay throttled the Vikings. Everything broke our way to put us in position to either win the division or slide into the playoffs. But we was the ones that messed it up. You understand? We was the ones that made the catastrophic error losing to the Bears, right? Related to the Ford Theater. All right, yeah, the president got shot. But other than that, Miss Lincoln, how was the show? Right? We completely messed it up this weekend, bro. A 37-17 loss versus the Bears. I want to get into some Justin Fields stuff, but just a quick recap and breakdown of the game. Special teams, you know that's my baby. I talk about that all the time. Who killed us, bro? Those two missed field goals. Now, granted, I get exactly what they were saying. One of them was a bad hold. You look at it, it was a bad hold. I will give him that one. The second one was a bad hold. The first one, I understand it's hard kicking that way. But Koo has the leg for it. And it was online, literally just came up 4 yards short. Just came up 4 yards short on that, bro. I'm like, yo, them 6 points would have made a difference, especially late in the game, because I feel like a lot of our play calling late in the game was due to the fact that we were down 2 scores, right? End up having a 20-point loss, being down 3 scores. Heineke was Heineke, threw 3 interceptions. Ritter came in and gave you one on the back end just so he wasn't outdone. But I can't even, like, that was end of the game type shit, bro. Bijan covered.
I'm like, that was upsetting because I was just about to text you. I was like, look at it. Ritter comes in and he looks great. Then as soon as I was texting that up, he threw the pick out to look at all that shit.
100%. Delete. Yeah, man. It was bad. It was just a bad game all the way through. Chicago scored early, got on top of us early. We almost had a kick 6. But I think that is the epitome of what this team has been this year. It's the epitome of what this team has been this year.
Damn, I think we missed the opportunity right there with the title.
Oh, what you thinking?
Well, we could have did something with Alford. I ain't got it all in my head, but there was opportunity.
Hey, look, hey, we'll pay somebody to do this eventually. Point is, I just think that we have more than enough opportunities to do everything we need to do to win this game and set ourselves up. But now we're at a point to where I would almost, and you echoed this statement as well as we were texting about the game, I would almost be mad if things broke the way that put us into the playoffs next week, because that would move us from pick 9 all the way down to, at the earliest, pick 17. What's the point? What's the point? Because this team is getting washed in the first round if you go anywhere. Even with Philly as bad as they are right now, you're getting blanked in the first round. We might lose 42-0 to the Cowboys or the Eagles, bro. It's just...
No, the Eagles' defense is horrible, so we might score on them.
You might get 7. But Lord knows we're going to go 4 picks against that bad secondary. But that was me ranting. The special teams, right? We almost had to kick 6. On the offensive end was just bad. Defensively, 37 points were scored. We both said we have trouble with rushing quarterbacks. And this rushing quarterback in particular was a monster this day. They picked
Houdini.
They picked on our all pro this a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. DJ Moore was.
Look, they picked on him, but it was mostly Hughes. They had him killer from the slot a lot.
Yeah,
but he picked on AJ too. But Hughes got the brunt of that.
No, I was saying Bates. Bates got caught up a couple times, bro. On more.
Well, but he did. But I mean, you typically don't like your safeties and man coverage on
You don't,
receivers.
especially on dominant number one receivers. That's just and that was very awkward defensively.
So,
Uh
I guess after this game, I owe you an apology because I remember we was talking about DJ Moore earlier, and you said he's the number one. I said, is he really? Then you pulled the stats up, and the stats lead my way, but Sunday
yeah,
didn't.
nah, bro. Like DJ is and to be honest, bro, just like one of the things that
And
great
honestly, it could have been
way
worse
worse. One of the
if he didn't go for a couple one handers.
one of the things that I always say, like, greatness shines a light on mediocrity, right? But like Carolina they're having a terrible season, but they don't get to feel the full brunt of how bad they are because there's no great in the division right now, right? We don't have a 13-14 win team in the division. But if we truly had a great team in the division, you would see the gap and divide between the levels of ownership. Because like it wasn't just the fact that you gave up the number one pick and next year's pick to go get Bryce Young. You also gave up this receiver, bro, who has been a dominant number one receiver for Chicago all year, regardless of quarterback. And speaking of quarterback, Justin Fields had a day. He had a day on us, bro. And I know a lot of people, the Chicago fans at the end were saying like, we want Fields, we want Fields. I don't think that's going to sway ownership at all. I think whatever they're going to get to the end of the season and evaluate his play. It's crazy because at 8-9, even if they win next week, they're out of it. They don't have a chance to get in. Yeah. Yeah. So at 8-9, they wouldn't have a chance to get in. At 8-9, we have a chance to win the division. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. But I just think that you look at it, how many times are you going to get that number one pick? You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to be in a position
twice.
Yeah, true. But you don't want to be in a position where Fields is going to. I don't think this team would, with Fields, would ever get the number one pick again with him having a healthy season, based on how he's played the last 7 weeks. Right? Like he's legit an NFL quarterback. Yeah. And so
because it started with the prior 2 games before he got hurt, and then he eased back into it, but like he's been gaining momentum ever since after that.
So. Yeah, it's hard to take that away from him. You know what I'm saying? So you look at the situation, it's like, now, will he ever be upper echelon top tier? Maybe, maybe not. So are you dooming yourself to be picking between 14 and 20 every year by keeping him or paying him, right? But I'm not going to lie to you. I would have a very hard time letting him go for a relative unknown, especially with this defense playing the way that it is. But like we were talking about 2 weeks ago, or last week, like we were talking about last week before we were facing him being the future quarterback, bro, the price of the brick went up. Price of the brick went up, dog. it ain't no 3 and impossible.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yo, it ain't no 3 and impossible, or Bears ain't letting him go for anything less than a 2, bro.
Hey, with Idris Elba on that show, hey, call him and tell him we back up.
Not for real.
The price.
Like they not letting him go for anything less than a 2 and.
No, the thing is, it might go.
It could be a 1. It could be a 1. I think the only leverage a team trading for him would have is the fact that you can't draft your other quarterback with him still in the building.
But the thing is, in this situation, Chicago holds all the leverage because they'll be like, hey, it's fine. We could just trade this pick for a fuck ton, or you can get Fields for this.
Which, like I said, so I ain't gonna put the whole message out there, but I think I screenshotted it to you. I was talking to my mans and I said, based on their defensive trades, it seems like they could go both ways. They got money that needs to be spent on that side of the ball, but they also gave up draft capital and could need to restock. There's a lot of flexibility. Chicago's in a really good spot, right? Chicago could trade the pick for a haul or stick with Fields, build the team, and restart the clock. Like, you have everything in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are in a really good position.
Yeah, but like the way I see it right now is you got Fields and DJ Moore like really building a rapport. I don't see a point in resetting that clock and restarting that connection.
Especially when you're keeping the
You
coach.
brought DJ Moore here. You brought DJ Moore here for Fields. So let them fruits labor.
Like, you're keeping the coach, you're keeping the GM. You've already said that. Like you said, they're building that connection. And if you remember a DJ Moore interview from earlier in the season, he don't sound like he want a new quarterback, bro.
No. I think the team believed in Fields. You see it, because like you can see the energy. Like that's their quarterback. The fans want it. The players want it. It's going to be hard to tell them players, hey, we know Fields been playing good, but we're going to go draft this guy. We don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah. And Drake May held out of a bowl. Caleb Williams held out of a bowl. So all you got to go on is really their season tape. You don't really. The thing I really like about bowls is you get to see people against non-common opponents, right? Like somebody you wouldn't normally see, somebody you don't have like a script on or years of play calling about. And so you may get a little bit of different performance. That's the only thing. But I'm never against a player. Once you get a draft grade that's 3 or higher, just sit out. Like I'm never taking that away from a player, right? You can't threaten your like.
Yeah, you just reminded me of something with the draft grade conference. There's a certain prospect that declared that shouldn't have declared that I want to talk about during City Talk.
Okay, I'll remind you of that one. But yeah, in all truth and honesty, I just think that their quarterback position juxtaposed to ours, right? So let's get into what we both described as just a complete mishandling of the quarterback situation as a total. And if you'll humor me, I want to take it from week 1, right? And we just kind of walk through the season of how this is going, right? So you start the season with Ritter coming in as the unquestioned starter, Heineke signing as the backup, right? Now you had multiple people like myself who said Ritter should have a short leash. If things start to go wrong, you immediately turn to Heineke, right? Because he provides like that veteran presence or whatever. You get through a stretch of Ritter, and after a certain number of games, really had people who watched the game saying, you know what, at the very least, he deserves to finish the season. I struggle using the words deserved or whatever. He's earned finishing out the season. He has a couple bad games, right? Then he has a concussion. You bench him, right? Heineke gets, you say we're not going to play musical chairs. Or no, you didn't say that yet. You bench him, right? He has a concussion, you bench him. You play Heineke. Heineke loses. You play Heineke again. Heineke gets injured. Ritter comes in, right? You go back to Ritter, or you have a bye week. You say, we're not going to play musical chairs. You go back to Ritter. You win a couple, lose a couple, right? Ritter has a really bad interception. I'm never taking that away. And don't get me wrong, I'm not opposed to that being like, that's a benchable offense, right? But based on what your trajectory of handling this quarterback situation for the year has been, you ride it out with this dude, bro. You ride it out with him for the rest of the year, dog. Because it's just, you played Heineke. He threw 3 interceptions. Why? Because he's Heineke. He's Taylor. He's, like you said, Taylor's playing like Taylor. Like, it ain't nothing new. This is exactly who he's been anytime you've had to depend on him as a starter. You throw Ritter in cold at the end of the game, he gets another pick, so another turnover in the ledger against him. And now your comments are like, we're going to evaluate all positions going into next week. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? This has just been a complete mishandling of the whole QB situation all year. I'm not saying Ritter is it. I'm not saying he's the dude. I'm saying look at the Minnesota situation, bro. They went Jaron Hall, right? He got injured. Then they went to the Pastronaut, beat us,
Dobbs.
right? He had a couple bad games. You go to Kellen Mullins, right? He has a couple bad games. You go back to Jaron Hall, right? Like, and look at their
in Hall's defense. See, in Hall's defense, his first start was versus us.
And he got knocked out.
He got put up with a concussion. Yeah. He didn't even really get a chance.
But I'm saying, and what is Minnesota's record with dominant skill positions? The exact same as us, bro. The exact same as us. You have a blueprint for exactly how mishandling this quarterback situation goes, bro. And they have a cop-out because their quarterback tore his Achilles.
Got hurt.
Yeah. You just literally did not go into the season prepared and then flubbed the situation from start, bro. But give me your take. Give me your take.
You know what's really bothering me, though?
Mm-hmm.
You know what's really bothering me about this whole situation? It's like there's, what is it, like 3 or 4 teams that's had at least 2 to 4 quarterbacks play? Like, we've been going back and forth.
Eagles it's way more. It's way more than 4. It's way more than 4.
And then, but the Browns, but they got it right. Like, they had Watson got hurt. They brought in PJ Walker. And whatever they ended up doing, brought their rookie back in. Rookie ain't do it right. They said, "Fuck it, we gonna go get Joe Flacco," and Joe Flacco been motherfucking
balling. He's been playing in Stefanski's offense. You look at what's it called? If we just go by division, right? The Seahawks have had to use their backup quarterback. The Rams, 49ers, and Cardinals had to use their backup quarterback for a little bit of the year, right? To start the year.
Colts.
The Colts had to use their backup quarterback. The Jags have had to use their backup quarterback. The Texans, like,
well, damn, the whole AFC South pretty much.
Every team has had, and like look at the Titans, bro. The Titans is another example. Had a solidified starter, right? You know what the Titans did? The Titans executed at a better option what we were trying to do last year with having Mariota drafting a mid-round quarterback and letting him start at some point through the season. Their hand was just kind of forced because Tannehill ended up getting hurt, right? They won it.
And Malik Willis.
Malik Willis was trash, bro. I missed the ball on that one. I thought he was going to be decent. He was bad. But here's the part about him being bad. You invested a 3rd round pick in him, dog. Like, my thing is like the same thing about us investing a 3rd round pick in Ritter. You know what I'm saying? If we were, because everybody's let's just go and get a 1st round QB. Let's spend even if we trade for Fields as a 1st round pick. You don't. It's the fact that you have spent the draft capital. Think about draft capital picks as like money. You spent the money to get a quarterback and you don't have a quarterback, bro. So now you're going to spend more money to get a quarterback, bro. And it's like,
well, okay. So since we bringing up the money analogy, right? So Fields, you took him in the 1st round. Oftentimes when we talk about money, you get what you pay for. So you took a quarterback in the 3rd round. You pretty much got what you paid for.
But you're always trying to get bang for your buck. You're always trying to.
I mean, you are. You're always trying to get bang for your buck. But it's like sometimes when you go cheap on the investment, sometimes it works out for you, but a lot of times it doesn't.
Like for every Dak, there's a lot of Nick Mullins. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at the Raiders. Adrian O'Connell starting, and he's getting quality starts. He's getting a couple wins, couple losses.
He's playing well. But he's playing relatively well.
For what you can expect for a 4th round pick, especially considering he sucked in college. I cannot put that. I cannot stress that enough. You look at, and I know a couple of y'all are going to fact check me and look at the win-loss record, touchdown to interception ratio. But all that is out the window. If you ever bet on this man, right? If you ever a degenerate and got into Big Ten betting, right? There was one cover that do you know who Purdue's, I'm getting way off the rails. Do you know who Purdue's head coach is? It's
No,
Brian Brom, right? LSU starting quarterback. Dude is an offensive mastermind. He got this dude drafted.
I
Bro.
forgot about.
Yes.
He a head coach.
Yes. Dude knows.
He young, ain't he?
Yes. Knows the game, bro. Got this dude drafted, bro. Got him drafted. And it's a miracle that he did. Cause I'm telling you, you need 7. He was the Matt Ryan of college, bro. You need 7 yards, it's gonna get you 6. You know what I'm saying? Every time. You know what? And you know what? It could.
I don't appreciate the Matt Ryan
Hey,
slander, so I'm going to glaze over that one.
Hey, look. You know who that is. You know who that is. But
I don't appreciate.
Hey, I said what I said. Point is, if you look back, man. Oh, not is it? It might be Jeff Brom. Whatever. You know who I'm talking about. Used to be Louisville.
Yeah. I know the name Brom.
Yeah. But it's just like, bro, it's so frustrating to see other places be able to get it right when it comes to the quarterback position. And we have gotten it so terribly wrong all year that I feel like we've wasted a complete year of all these skill players, all their development, all their,
To be honest, we've been wasting 2 years of Pitts. Outside of Pitt's first year, we've been wasting them.
I feel like we've wasted 2 years of London. He went 4 for 56 yesterday, bro.
London too. Yeah, we're wasting London. Those two, because those are the main two. Now I'm not sure if you're on Twitter, but like I seen Cordero. They had this little tweet talking about it's crazy how Arthur Smith made of this whole position, the Joker position, just to not use him. And then one of the beat writers was like, "Yeah, I can't imagine Cordell's happy, whatever." And Cordell responded and said, "Should I be happy?
Should I?"
So like,
I mean, bro,
that's just very interesting considering like most players don't really do things that kind of speak out directly against the coach.
Shameless plug.
So like, it's Arthur Smith lose.
Shameless plug. Yes, we're on X, BOAF Media, right? Shameless plug, B.O.A.F Media.
I will never call it X. I'm forever calling it by the name of my colleague. That is Twitter.
For media for TikTok, both those can be found in the bio. And shameless plug, listen to the betting pod. Cause like we discussed the fact that like you can't even bet on Cordell no more, bro. There are no props available to bet on Cordell Patterson. So like, of course he shouldn't be happy.
But it's reasonable though, because it's like you bet on him and he don't see the field, you're gonna be pissed off.
No, but my thing is
you can be like, I need a refund.
I mean, DraftKings is pretty good. Oh, nah. We editing that out. We're not giving no free promo around these ways. Certain betting sites are pretty good about refunding you, like if a player doesn't play or if they're a late scratch, right? They're pretty good about that. But it's the fact that he's been a healthy scratch in a lot of games. I understand he was dealing with something earlier in the year, but if I'm in my mind thinking about how many times I've seen Cordell Patterson on the field this year, I would think the Tampa game where Bijan had that inexplicable illness.
He's been on the field quite a bit. It's just he don't get on the backfield a lot. He's on the kick returns pretty much every game except for like them.
Well, yeah, kick returns. But I'm saying like actually be involved as part of the offense, right? He had the breakout year.
Yeah, they don't.
In Arthur Smith's first year. You had a breakout year in Arthur Smith's first year. Y'all paid him, and then he was hurt in and out of the lineup last year. Barely played this year. What are we doing?
I mean, he still had a good year, but like this year is kind of crazy because the thing is like. I was having a discussion with somebody, and they was like, I mean, why would you use your 32-year-old running back? I'm like, you are where he was a receiver first, right?
Yeah.
Like in his long career, he spent at least 8 years as a receiver before he got here, and they switched and said, no, you gonna be running back.
And Bill Belichick was the one who started him with that whole, I'm gonna slide you to the running back position just because he needed to get explosion onto the field.
Yeah. And like looking at our receiver room, like you got Drake London, and if you want to count Pitts, sure you can count Pitts, but I look at him as just a move tight end. But that's neither here nor there. There's nobody outside of London that's keeping Cordero out of that receiver room.
Who? Who? Like it's and that's what I'm saying. For you to be the offensive mastermind, for you to be the offensive genius, for you to have all this smoke behind you as to who you are offensively, bro, you don't be handling nothing on that side of the ball, bro. And when I tell you, people don't give I honestly believe if we were averaging 25 plus a game and our record was the exact same and our defense was giving it up, Arthur Smith would not, he would never, because if you handle your side of the ball, I think you get a longer rope. Even with 3 straight 7-10 seasons, if they look at it and they go, you have a prolific offense, maybe we need to spend some more money, maybe we need a new coordinator, maybe we need to invest like draft picks. We'll do something to fix the defense. But your side of the ball is good. Or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? We had a defensive head coach who was only allowing, like the Bears, you know what I'm saying? Had a defensive head coach, was only allowing 14 to 17 points per game. Your offense just sucked. Okay, we'll figure that side of the ball out. Robert Saleh getting an extra year. Why? Because the Jets defense is good. You ain't figured out the offense yet. And
because his side is good.
You ain't figured out the offense yet.
You get it.
Part of that is your fault. Part of that is your fault.
That's why Quinn got let go, because he was a defensive guy, and that defense.
Your defense is bad, bro. Your defense is bad. What's his name? For the Chargers, Staley.
Yeah, Staley.
The defense is bad, bro.
You were wasting a second tier quarterback. You were wasting him.
And so that's all I'm saying. I feel like, and you can say he doesn't have his quarterback. You can say that, and I'll give you that.
But I'm not, because this is your 3rd year and you've pretty much neglected it.
Now
you haven't put any real resources into it.
Now, but here's the thing. Because you got to be real, you got to be fair. They tried to get Deshaun, and that pissed Matt Ryan off so much he left, right? So that kind of put you.
No, but see, the whole Matt Ryan thing. I think that was an Arthur Blank thing. I don't think that was on the front office. I don't think that was a Terry and Arthur thing. I think that was an Arthur Blank, because he wanted to have that that nostalgia. Oh yeah, I remember when he was the ball boy for the team. Yeah, let's come on, bring it back to be our quarterback. And you lose out on it because you can't give him the money, and you end up pissing off the guy you got there, which in turn set us back at that position.
Yeah, because the
thing is, like, as bad as Ritter has been, I don't think he was nurtured correctly.
Yeah, I don't. Mariota, especially that crap he pulled at the end of the year, just quitting on the team. I do not feel like that was a mentor that you needed at all.
No, I think that if you keep Matt Ryan, you don't get that third, you don't get D'Angelo Lamone, he don't play anyway, whatever. You still get Ritter. Ritter sitting, I would love Ritter sitting behind Matt Ryan, because in a lot of ways he has a similar skill set. He's more athletic, but he has a similar. He wants to play from the pocket. He wants to try to manipulate coverage. He probably doesn't have it because he don't have the best examples here, because we don't have a quarterback.
And I wouldn't have said, to be honest with you, I think the wheels still fall off because that culture was bad, but we won 7 games. What did we win? 5 or 6?
Well, no. See, the thing is, I'm not going to do that Colts thing, because you can't really do that, because the thing of the Colts thing, the whole team.
No, but that's what I'm saying. We won 7 games without him. If Matt's still here and the wheels fall off, what do we win? 5 or 6? So it's not like you're still in one of those top positions to get one of the quarterbacks this year, which means you would have been liable to stick with Ritter as the third round pick.
No. But what I'm saying is Ryan's a much better example to learn from than Mariota.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
You don't want your future. Because you don't want your future starter learning from pretty much. I mean, Mariota had his first 3 years, and then after that, Mariota's spent more of his career as a backup than a starter. So to me, he's a career backup. Mm-hmm. So you don't want your future starter learning from a career backup,
and a quarterback who's been told that he's the stopgap solution.
Right. So it's like I feel like, yeah, Ritter obviously has his hands in the turnovers and all that, but I don't feel like he was nurtured correctly. I don't feel like the situation has been ideal toward him. Because the thing is, like, why do you not have a quarterback coach?
On the whole roster, bro. On your
Like,
whole
there's
staff.
no quarterback coach. You don't have a passing game coordinator. You like, what do these people do? Like, what is offensive coordinator they were going to do? He's not calling the plays. And it seems like this Arthur Smith plays. So what is we're going to do?
I couldn't tell you.
Like, no one knows what he. It's just like yes, Ritter, but I think Ritter has been mishandled horribly.
All right, so we got about 9 minutes left in this first segment. Let's just get to the big question. You letting Arthur go? Yes or no?
I think we should.
And
Now,
go ahead.
reality versus what I think's gonna happen. Reality, he's probably gonna get another year. But I think it's happened. He should be gone. Reality, they're gonna pull him out of office. Like, hey, look, you get 1 year, and I mean it. So figure this offense out, or I'm Jazzy Jeff in your shit.
I mean, I agree there. Just I agree. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he should be gone. And I'm not even trying to call for no man job or anything like that. Like none of that type things, people. I think he should be gone. Like, and hear me out when I say this. I think you should fire him this week because winning the Saints game and getting into winning the Saints game and having Carolina somehow miraculously beat Tampa, you know what I'm saying, and getting into the playoffs gives you a false sense of the shitty coaching job that this man has done this year, bro. Like, getting into the playoffs would be the worst thing.
It still don't even give me a false sense. Like, it's just you lucked into.
Yeah, but would you let him go after a playoff game?
Depends
I think getting into. I think even if he gets blasted, he's gonna get like another year.
See, the thing is, I think he should be gone, but the reality of it, what I feel is going to happen, he's going to be back.
I feel now. Here's the thing: if the Saints blow the doors off of him in this like divisional game for the chance at the playoffs, I think it changes things.
It could, but all Arthur's going to do is be like, we tried to make it work with this quarterback, and this time we're really going to address his position. Blase. Mr. Blink, please don't fire me. I know I can do the job.
I'll suck you.
I need to get a quarterback. Just please. No.
I'll make you feel good.
But it's going to be a lot of just. So, like, they're going to give him one more shot to get a quarterback, but I don't know if I trust Arthur Smith with a quarterback.
I feel like
a young one at least.
I feel like if you don't fire him at the end of the season, next year is going to be a wasted year because you're going to get to a point in next season where you let him go mid-season.
Because this is probably what's going to happen for us. They're going to bring Arthur Smith back, and he's going to go get a quarterback that has an established, he's going to go get an established quarterback. He may not be the best one, but he's going to be more established than what we've been bringing in.
And I'm not going to lie to you.
Better than the Heineke. He's going to be better than the Mariota.
After what I've seen in Minnesota, they're not letting Kirk go.
Oh no, Kirk's not going to be gone. So it's going to be two, maybe three quarterbacks, maybe four. I'm going to start from the low and work my way up. The lowest probably going to be Tyrod Taylor.
Agree.
Then you can go up to Jacoby Brissett.
Okay.
Then you can work your way up to Tannehill. Not popular, but he's an established quarterback that's had success.
When did we call that? Week 8? Week 9?
Yeah. No. I mean, the connection was always been there. And then you get the Russell Wilson. Those are probably the four established options that we will look at. I know you don't like Russell Wilson. You feel like his numbers have been fugazi or whatever, but he's had success in the year. He's had success in his career. And he's been a stable quarterback. Every quarterback has been up and down years, but he's much better than anything we've had in here since Matt Ryan. So a Russell Wilson level quarterback, with a Russell Wilson level quarterback, we're in the playoffs this year.
This year, yeah, this year, especially with.
Now, next year we got a fucking gauntlet of a schedule because we got to play the AFC West and the NFC East.
I mean, do you expect the Giants or Commanders to be any better?
The Cowboys, the Giants, no, the Cowboys, the Eagles. Then we got to deal with the AFC West because the AFC West is just the Chargers. They're a head coach away from being a really good team again. Raiders, I think they're on their way. Obviously, got the Chiefs. Broncos ain't a bad team. They do.
No,
That's just the worst situation. But Sean Payton gonna get them right.
Yeah, he will get them right, but Russell Wilson's dead cap is going to decimate that team next year. So I actually don't mind facing them.
But they got draft picks though. And the defense is still really good. I mean, yeah, they had that debacle versus the Dolphins, but we ain't got the Dolphins.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. But the Chiefs are. I mean, the Chiefs are kind of slander alert.
They still gonna be
slander alert.
They still gonna be. They still gonna be
kind of living off name right now. Just saying.
They living on name, but they still gonna beat us to sleep.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. And you got to think, bro.
The thing is, the season ain't living off name. It's just the offense just taking a step back, but the defense has taken a step up this year,
which is true. But I think like we will have to get to the off season, and when we do our schedule thing, we'll break it down and we'll go like salary cap, roster, all this and that. Because like the Eagles ain't going to be the same team because like Hurts contract kicks in. You know what I'm saying? Like the Cowboys are going to get.
The thing is, Hurts. The thing with Hurts' contract, he's not making no real money until like the 5th or 6th year of his contract.
Yeah, but
his cap is only $5 million next year.
That doesn't change the team much.
Yeah, his cap hit is like for like the first like 3 to 4 years, just like 5, 7, and maybe 9. His cap hits are low. He just gets money up front to make it feel good.
Yeah, which means that fourth and fifth. Excuse me. That fourth and fifth. Thank you.
Bless you.
That 4th and 5th years, they'll probably restructure. But we getting a little too far away.
Yeah.
My thing is, yeah, I think next year will be a loss. I think next year would be a loss if you keep Arthur, strictly because I feel like you're going to end up letting him go mid-season. And Arthur and Blank does a terrible job letting people go mid-season. Like it takes.
He's only
exactly. It takes like an act of God for you to let somebody go mid-season. And it's like, but what I related to, and we had said this before. The year before Dan Quinn got fired, at the end of that season, everybody knew it was time for him to go. Everybody. You ask any fan, everybody knew, yeah, Dan Quinn, you should go ahead, fire him at the end of the season. You had your playoff runs. He's lost Kyle. He hired Steve Sarkisian, for God's sake.
That wasn't a bad hire. I don't care what anyone said. That wasn't a bad hire. Cutter was the bad hire because you fired Sarkisian for Cutter.
That's fair. Cutter was a terrible hire considering he had been there already. Yeah, it's fair. But prime example, you hired Cutter, right? Like it was time. And everybody knew it. And you kept him. And then you started the season 0-6. Was it 0-5 or 0-6?
0-5. I think he got fired at the same game or something.
Started the season 0-5 and then you let him go. But it's like, bro, you could have done this at the end of the season. Everybody knew. And regardless of losing the 5 games in a row, everybody knew it was time for you to go. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what it's going to be with Arthur. Like we're gonna go 7-10 or 8-9. And then we're going to go into next season and we'll start the season 1-6. And then you'll be like, okay, let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and end it. And it's like, now it's a wasted season.
No, but see, here's one thing that probably a lot of people don't really talk about. Yes, Arthur Smith should be fired. But then it goes to, who do you hire?
That is the great question. Blank has never been shy about spending money, though. And I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I go for Harbaugh, bro. I don't think he would go for Atlanta, especially considering.
I think Harbaugh's going to Washington. That's right.
I think the thing that's gonna stop a lot of coaches from really looking at the Atlanta job is the fact that we're not losing our GM.
I don't think that hurts because the GM's done a good job. Like, cause the
I'm
thing is
saying those
for
big
for
name
the
coaches that want
for,
front office.
I mean that's fine, but like for the most part, like the most coaches ain't coming into to their own GM. Like most ain't. It's only a small percentage. Like and Harbaugh, he probably would want his own GM, but then again, he probably will want to talk to Fano and see and just see what the thoughts is. Sometimes it's as simple as like, let me talk to the man and see what your philosophy is, and then if I agree with some of it, we can make this shit work.
Mm-hmm. Which
But
which is true.
yeah, it ultimately just comes down to who you can get.
I think that
Because it's like, because the thing is like Ben Johnson, he's a better version of Arthur Smith. But do you want to fire? Do you want to go after another first year coach?
I don't think.
Arthur Smith has not really gone after experienced head coaches. He's gone after coordinators that never been coaches and then
Yeah,
elevates them up.
and I feel like at this point in time, you go on the defensive side of the ball. All right, who do you choose? You choose Mike McDonald, Baltimore's defensive coordinator. Not gonna lie, I would love him, but then you're taking Ryan Nielsen out of the job, and he's done a great job with the defense.
Yeah, I don't think that whatever they do, I don't think they need to I don't think they need to do anything with the defense because if they let Arthur Smith go, I think they could lean on Terry because I'm hearing that Terry had a lot of influence on the Nielsen hire. Um, so they could be like, you know what, we're gonna
You
we're
kind
gonna
of go out and
see
pick the
what you can
guy.
do, and
Yeah,
yeah,
and
because I mean, if Nielsen was his hire and the defense improved that much, I'm willing. I'm like, fuck it, let's see what else you
yeah,
can do. Now, if he did that, the hire could probably be Joe Brady.
ugh,
I don't love it,
ugh.
but Terry could probably surround him with a bunch of experienced people on offense to kind of reel the young guy in.
Which I think would be absolutely necessary. Any coordinator that we move to coach, I don't feel like Arthur's capitalizing on the offense as a whole. So kind of like you said, maybe a Ben Johnson, maybe a Miami's offensive coordinator. I forget his name off the top of my head. Maybe they're looking that way. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Bieniemy got a couple looks. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't want. I don't know if I want to be in here though.
I think that
I'm not the biggest
he
enemy
he would
fan
need he would
because
need a
like
totally
the way
different
his
quarterback. He would need a totally different
he
quarterback.
would need the way our offense is structured right now does not fit the way the enemy plays. We have a run blocking O line. He likes to leave his quarterbacks out pretty much
Yeah,
to
nah, he
die.
he likes his O lineman on the island, bro. He wants really advanced tackles. McGarry would be gone. McGarry's
And
trade bait. McGarry's trade
but
bait, bro. If they hire Mc...
who's going to trade? But who's going to take him?
but somebody, I don't know.
And unless you're a run heavy team, you're not really like, oh yeah, I'm going to take him because there's a reason McGarry was able to last as long as he did in free agency before he
Yeah,
came back
nah.
home.
I just think that like they trade him for a bag of pickles at this point, bro. Like they would go, they
Yeah,
would immediately look to upgrade right tackle. Bergeron, I think Bergeron would be safe. He's
the
getting
person will definitely be safe. Like your interior is going to be
yeah.
safe unless you just switch it from a zone scheme to a gap scheme. Then I think Bergeron still because I think Bergeron brings that
I
flexibility, but
actually,
then Chris
I
Lindstrom
actually wouldn't like.
becomes
Yeah, Lindstrom, I think would be in some trouble because he is very highly rated as a run blocker. But I think he'd be in a couple issues in an extremely pass heavy offense. I wouldn't be surprised if they slid
I think
Bergeron
he'd be
out to the
fine. Yeah,
outside. Now flipping him all the way to the right side tackle is rough. I don't think they could do that. But
he's played both sides in
yeah, but
college,
I think they could put him on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Because he is athletic
but
enough.
I think he is, but I think it's you probably want to keep that interior as
Mm-hmm.
is, and then get the top because the thing is you got to have the strength. You don't want to knock down the interior and just to be shaky on the outside again. Because the interior is pretty much the strength of our team right now.
Yeah.
Jake Matthew, he's on a steady decline, and McGarry, he can't block. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get to our opponents next week, the Saints.
All right, bro. Not gonna lie to you, the Saints are They're playing some really good ball. They beat the brakes off of Tampa. Tampa scored a couple junk touchdowns late to make that game look closer than it is. The Saints whooped their ass all up and down that field yesterday. Excuse my French. I'm trying to work on that. That's New Year's goal. Boy, they beat the brakes off them all day, and they're coming in. They're coming in with a lot of heat, with a lot of gas. They're in the exact same position as us, right? Their playoffs started last week. Technically, by saying our playoffs started last week, we're out of it. You know what I'm saying? We technically have the option to do so. So if we beat the Saints and then Carolina handles Tampa, we have the option to get in. On the betting pod, I gave y'all the little weird stuff happens on the last week of the season. Carolina is actually like they have a chance. I'm not gonna go into it. Listen to the betting pod, shameless plug. Just in all truth and honesty, bro, I'm not excited about winning this game at all.
I'm not excited about it either because mentally right now where my mind is at, I'm ready for us to be in Detroit. That's where I'm
at. Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, so last year, you guys, if you were watching, I was by myself, solo dolo. I was live from Kansas City. This year, me and my man Taj live from Detroit for the draft. Live from Detroit, y'all.
Yes,
y'all
sir.
tune in every single day. We're gonna be live streaming whole event, whole time, completely immersed into the draft. We'll have tons of content leading up to it. But yeah, live from Detroit. Just talked to the missus. I'm gonna be wearing. I know it's the wrong sport, but I'm gonna be wearing the Seafoam joint because we in Detroit. I got to, bro. I got to. But in all truth and honesty, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Kind of like they say, on to Cincinnati, bro. On to Detroit. On to the draft, dog. On to the draft. Because, like, winning this game does what? It moves you from 9 to 11, 12. Moves you to 12.
Yeah, assuming the Bucks win, yeah.
Yeah, it moves 12. You to 12. And if the Bucks mess around and lose, moves you to, at the earliest, 17.
The playoffs.
Yeah, at the earliest, 17. Bro, don't catch a declining Philly team, win a game, and now all of a sudden you at 23 at 8 and 9.
Because then you're gonna be kind of forced to like, damn it, we're gonna have to Ritter, you get one more shot because we can't do it behind the key.
We can't. Like that kind of pigeonholes you into using Ritter for another year. Or
either that, or it's going to bring in the names that you don't like
Russell Wilson.
Tannehill, because
is
because and that would be appealing to someone like Russell Wilson
or Chicago.
Despite all of the future situation that would be going on here, that would just be entertaining for that.
Or you want to move up, you want to move up to, because we talked about the fact like I want to move up to 4, right? Because Arizona has their quarterback, they're good, they're in a good position. If you can move up to 4,
the only reason I don't like the 4 because I don't think Daniels is worth it.
I don't want Daniels at 4. To be honest with you,
that's who will be there because Drake May and Williams are going 1 and 2.
But I think you have a better position moving up to 1 and 2 from 4.
I mean, so trade up and then trade up again. Like it's still going. You might as well just take it all in one lump. That's why I think that's not. It will probably that's probably one of the bigger reasons why I.
But I look like, historically.
We win. I'm never going to root for my team to lose, but the where we are right now, it would make more sense for us to lose the game because it will put us at least in a better draft spot. Now it's still going to cost 3 number 1s
minimum,
and maybe a 2 to go because that's about what the Panthers paid. Except instead of 3 number 1s, they gave up 2 1s and they gave up a receiver and they gave up like a 2nd and 3rd or some shit like that. So we're 1 pick higher than 9, so it would still probably be like 3 1s and a 2. And we never got to give our own, so we can give up the Jacksonville 2 that we probably get, assuming that Ridley resigns, or at least they're 3.
So here was my thinking from 9, right? Because I look at historically who's able to trade. This Chicago Bears GM has slightly overvalued defensive players, and he has been incredibly hard to negotiate with, which is why I was like 9 to 4. You could go ahead and obviously flip 1s. You could give a 3 You wouldn't have to give up your one next year. Then you use the 4 to go to 1 or 2. You give up your one next year. You would have to give up a player.
The hell, if you get 4, the next year one already gone. If you give going for
Which is
4,
true. Which is true. I'm just saying you could move all the way up. So let's just say you go from 9 to 1, right? You're giving up. Obviously, you're giving up pick 9. You're giving up your one next year, right? I think it would be easier rather than giving up another one to give up a player, right? Same thing that Carolina did. Who are you giving up? If you're looking at Chicago, right? If we're trading with Washington, then Kyle Pitts is on the table. I hate to say that. But if we're trading with Washington,
Washington, there's no world Washington does.
Washington's not moving, bro. Washington's not moving. But I'm saying if we're trading with Washington, Kyle Pitts on the table. If we're trading with Chicago, they don't need a tight end, right?
Yeah, because they're pretty.
They don't need a receiver. They're probably going to re-sign their corner. They don't need AJ. They don't need Bates. What appeals to them? They don't need linebackers. I don't think Bates would. So we would have to give up that third one.
Yeah, because
we don't have nothing that they want, bro. We don't have nothing that they want. Like the only person that they would possibly want is Bijan.
Or they might want to take like one of our interior line because that's their weakness. They need interior line.
Yeah, they would probably want to take. They wouldn't. They wouldn't want Lindstrom's contract.
They probably would want.
They would want Bergeron. Like you're not giving up Bijan or Bergeron. Like, especially when like Bergeron, depending on who goes to the Super Bowl, might end up getting a Pro Bowl nod this season. Like
he's been playing very well.
Like
especially in the second half of the season.
Depending on who goes to the Super Bowl, he might get a Pro Bowl nod. So like, you're not giving up either one of your like young Pro Bowl staples, and they don't want anything else. So like, what's the point? What's the point, bro? What's the point of winning? And because from 23 to 1, you're not doing it. You're not doing it, bro. You can't move from 23 to 1.
No, yeah, that's dead. That's absolutely.
It's hard to move from 17.
I think I'm like,
yeah, it's hard to move from 17 to 1.
It's hard to move anything else. Anything outside of the top 10 is pretty much dead.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard to move from. And I think anything that we got going on, bro. 23 to 1, 17 to 1. It's looking like kind of like you said, Tyrod Taylor and Jaden Daniels. And just get rid of our whole quarterback room. Sign Tyrod and start the season with him and have the idea that Jaden Daniels is gonna sit and learn and have Tyrod get hurt at some point during the year and Jaden Daniels start.
So then he come in and ball out.
Like that's what it's looking like. And
yeah, Tyrod gonna come, he gonna get hurt, and then Jalen gonna come in when.
And I feel like we're wasting another year of this defense.
Well, the first year of the defense, because this is the first year we actually look like a team.
And my thing is, if you already had a mindset that you're going to draft another quarterback, get rid of Arthur Smith, bro.
Yeah, because I don't want him having hands on unless you bring in another person to control the offense. I don't want him having hands on the quarterback.
Just factual, because he hasn't shown the ability to handle that.
Yeah, because the quarterback is nature versus nurture, and we have not been nurturing these quarterbacks very well.
Overall, you look at it, the Saints defense is the Saints defense. They're going to be good. Like you said, I'm not rooting for my team to lose. It's just it doesn't make sense to win at all. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense to win.
Like if they win, I'll be happy. I'll probably be a little annoyed, but I'll be happy. It'll be like, yay!
Yeah, because we beat the Saints. But like in terms of what it does for us in all actuality, losing to the Bears kind of messed up our whole ability to win this season. You know what I'm saying? Or even look at this season positively.
Because so I was looking at, I think what was it like? Of teams in the top 4, we've lost to 4 in the top 10. We lost to 4 teams in the top 10.
Yep, the Bears, Washington, Carolina, via the Bears pick, and
Yeah.
Hold on. I got the 14 because I was looking at that 10.
Washington
Cardinals is the 14.
Cardinals. Washington. Yeah. And it's like what makes this even more frustrating is like we had the easiest schedule in the NFL. And when you look at it, it still looks like one of
It
the easiest
still
schedules.
does.
Like we've lost to the teams that own the number one and number two pick.
Mm-hmm. Both of them.
Like that is stuff that cannot happen.
Oh, 5 teams. We lost to the
And
Titans.
oh, 5 teams. My bad. I stand corrected.
Yeah, we lost to
He's
we
like,
lost
but that's
to
stuff that you can't
Carolina,
have.
Washington, Arizona,
Damn.
the Titans, and then if you say top 10, the Bears, the actual Bears pick at 10. So we
Yeah.
lost to 5 teams in the top 10. We lost to 6 teams in the top 12 because we lost to the Vikings. And if we lose to the Saints, that's 7 teams not in the playoffs. What's the, like?
Yes.
What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Why do you
Not a
why
lot
does that
good.
team want to go to the playoffs? What does that do?
It just prolongs the inevitable. It pushes you out of a better team building spot. Gives you a false sense of hope. It is
Honestly, yeah. Winning 8 games drops you all the way down to at the earliest, and you would beat New Orleans, so it would drop you to 13. It would drop you to
what does that do?
13 if you won.
No. Given like it's the first round, there's going to be great players all throughout
Not
the first round.
necessarily. This last draft didn't
We're
have
getting
15 great players.
no. What I'm saying is, it's like you can get great players at any point in the draft because people are going to miss.
Yeah.
Whether you hit or not, that's a luck thing. But you can hit at any point in the draft, but still, you would want at least for the because I feel like right now we're in a position to where the offense is pretty much set. The defense is pretty much set. Yeah. I think we need to add another explosive option on offense, but mostly we need a quarterback. Defense, you're going to we're going to have about anywhere between 40 to 60 million. I know that's a wide window, but it's not as wide as you think it is. But we're going to have anywhere between 40 to 60 million to spend in free agency.
Van Jefferson is
We're going to
not
need
the
we're going to go have
he's not the deep threat
no
that we need. So we will need an explosive
no.
deep threat.
Yes, we're going to need either a deep threat or just someone that can separate consistently because we don't have
Yeah.
that.
London's contested catches. And London is underutilized. Cause like,
He is because he's a volume receiver. He doesn't get the
yeah,
volume he needs.
yeah. And I don't think that changes with somebody like Tyrod Taylor or Jaden Daniels. Because Jaden Daniels' pro comp is Lamar Jackson, who for the first couple years couldn't get the ball consistently to receivers. He could to his tight end.
Well, he could to his tight end, but that's the only one that was really key. But I mean, let's just be real. Who do the Ravens have a receiver?
Nah, for the longest they didn't have people. Which
Exactly.
you put
Andrew was the
people
only one
around
worth
him, he's
anything, so
able
that
to.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But it's just like
But overall, let's see how these wins and losses affect us as we roll over to in division. Check out our playoff chances or draft eligibility. So we kind of been bleeding into it. As of right now, number 1 seed, you got the 49ers, and they locked that up. You have the Cowboys at 2,
Cowboys
Lions at 3.
because the Eagles shit
Yeah,
ahead.
Lions at 3. Buccaneers at 4 right
I
now.
think it's
You got Eagles at 5,
yeah.
Rams at 6, and then Packers at 7. Sounds weird, but they are in a win and get in scenario. You got a couple.
Because all we had to do was win, and we would have been 7.
Yeah, you've got a couple teams that are win and get in. A couple teams that are 8-8. You got the Saints at 8-8. You got the Seahawks at 8-8. But Green Bay owns the tiebreakers on all those, and so as of right now, Green Bay has a win and get in against the Bears, who I'm pretty sure would love to end their season. If you look at it, the 49ers don't have anything to play for this week. They're probably going to be on a rest week, right? the Cowboys, and Eagles both technically the Eagles need the Cowboys to lose at this point in time. Yeah, because I think if the Cowboys win, they got the 2 seed.
Yeah.
If the Cowboys and Eagles both lose and the Lions win, the Lions get the 2 seed. So they still got something to play for there. We've talked about the NFC South. So if the Panthers beat the Bucks, and if the Panthers beat the Bucks, whoever wins the Saints and Falcons is in. If the Bucks win, the Bucks are in.
This is crazy. So this is so in order like there's still 2 ways for us to get in, but it's just very, 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 very
so the second convoluted way for us to get in is the Packers tie with the Bears. Packers have to
tie or lose.
No, they got a tie because the Bears got the tiebreaker versus.
But the Bears are eliminated. The Bears are completely eliminated.
Yeah, but our only way. So I figured losing to the Bears put us in a position where our only way in is to win the division because we don't have a tiebreaker versus the Vikings or the Bears.
But if the Vikings lose and we win, the Vikings would be 7-10. We'd be 8-9. We beat the Saints, that'll put us over them. That'd be 8-9. And then the Seahawks lose, we'd be tied with the Seahawks. But I don't know how that would work though.
It would go to division record. I don't have their division record up right now.
Seahawks. Let me see. Kind of pull the standings up.
We're doing this live, people. Don't get mad at us.
So, Seahawks are 6-5 in the conference. Mm-hmm. You know, okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, it's the only division because we're 4.
Yeah, that's our only way in. If I'm not mistaken, that's why that Bears not even the Bears. That's why that Carolina loss was so detrimental, and that's why the Colts win didn't do shit for us. In the grand scheme, that Colts win didn't do shit for us, bro.
It did. It kept us alive. It kept us alive just to kill us next week.
But like losing to the Bucks, okay, it happens. You know what I'm saying? Division that Carolina game killed us, bro. And it really put us in a position where we had to win out to even have a chance. Side note, do you remember a couple weeks ago when you was like the Bucks are gonna run the table and I told you 9 wins was gonna win this division? I'm just saying.
Oh, I said they was gonna win the division. I said they're probably gonna go 3-1.
No, you said they was gonna run the table. Cause
I said there's a strong chance they're gonna win the table, but I said they're probably gonna be 3-1.
Point is,
because I didn't see them losing to the Saints though. I thought they would have lost to either the Jags or the Packers. But
Saints beat them. To be honest with you, here's the real crappy part about it. Losing doesn't necessarily up our draft stock. Right? So like
highest we can get is 8.
Highest we can get is
maybe 7.
So if the Jets if the Jets win and we lose 7-10, it will go to conference record. The Jets have less conference losses or less conference wins than we do, so we would go up to 8.
But the Jets beat us though.
We beat the Jets.
I mean, we beat
the Jets. Yeah, so I think we're locked in at 9. Because we go head to head. We're locked in at 9. Even with a loss.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 9. Yeah.
We're locked into 9. We can't do any like if we lose.
Well, we could probably we might be able to get to 8. I think 8's the highest.
No, Jets are at 8.
8 or 9 is where we're going to
Jets are at 8.
Oh, they are at 8.
Jets are at 8 right now. They're 6-10. So if they win, they'd be 7-10. We'd have the exact same record, and we beat them head to head.
No, well, that shit, yeah. Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're locked in at 9. Tennessee's at 7, so they got 5 wins. There's nothing we could do. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, the only thing you could do is win and push yourself down to 13. It almost makes sense for you to not be.
Well, okay. Did the Chargers want to lose this week? Did the Chargers want to lose?
Chargers already lost.
So the Chargers.
Chargers are 5-11.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah. It's a wrap then. Yes, a wrap.
There's nothing you could do. The worst thing that you could do is win. The worst thing that you could do is win. It sounds bad, but it's true. The worst thing that you could do for this game is win. It's going to push you down from 9 to 13.
Yeah, this is just a clusterfuck. Just.
And so, in the grand scheme of things, bro, like I'm really in a mindset of let's just go ahead, make sure everybody. I would be perfectly fine. I don't think that London's going to have a 150-yard game against the Saints. So my thousand for the year ain't gonna cash. I'd be fine if London didn't play. I'd be fine if Pitts didn't play. I'd be fine if Bijan didn't play, and I'd be fine if Ritter started. To be completely honest with you, what you thinking?
I still want to see them play, at least for my enjoyment. Shit, like, what are they shitting for? I mean, yeah, to not risk injury, but shit, like, they ain't like, nah. I mean, they need to play. They need to. They're young players. They need to play. They need all the experience they can get.
I'm thinking from a front office perspective, bro. In just the sense of like,
no, I understand that, but the thing is, you need your youth to get experience. There's no better training than on the job.
I get that, but it's like you done had a bunch of on the job training all year, and to be honest with you, like I think about like Bradley Chubb, bro. Like there was no reason for you to be out there. There was no reason for you to be out there, and you tore your ACL.
I don't even remember when
that was. Like in the fourth quarter of the game where they were down 51-19 versus the Ravens last week.
No, remember, but he got hurt again.
He tore his ACL last week.
I did not know it. I'm thinking you talking about like I thought you talking about like the first time he did, but when he was with the Broncos.
No.
Damn.
Tore his ACL last week in the fourth quarter versus the like. There's no reason for you to be out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Phillips, when he popped his Achilles, it was no reason for you to be out there versus the Jets. I'm using Miami just because like those were the two examples that come to mind. But like Michael Thomas got ran over while Sean Payton was trying to run up the score, and it completely derailed his career. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's just football is a violent game, bro, and it's like, what happens if Bijan becomes like Saquon because you tear your ACL like losing him, now you lost him for a whole second season. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that frame mind.
I get it. I get it. I'm just thinking in the sense of like if you know it's over, just
if the game is over, sure, but let these boys play, because the thing is, these players are still playing for like markers, because you got some of these younger players who get like incentive thing based off like
games played,
certain marks they hit,
snaps played. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Do
it like a lot of them teams do on week 17. You send him out there to start. He plays one series, and then you take him off the field.
No, but like some of these people could use these numbers from when it comes to talking, especially like someone like Pitt. Like, you know, it's getting close to Pitt's time at the table, so you know he gonna need all the little numbers he can get.
I get that. I get it. Don't get me 100%. I get it. I just, from a front office perspective, I don't even want those guys
players
to
want to play.
I get players want to play. I get players want to play because we kind of get lost and look at them as just like mad numbers or whatever. But like they're people.
That's the nature of this game.
Yeah.
Like it's an injury is part of the game, so you can't approach it with, well, you're not playing because I don't want you to get hurt. Don't want to play at all. Because you can sit them out week 7 and they can get week 18 and they can go get hurt week 1. They can get hurt training over in all season. They can get hurt week in preseason, like training camp. Like injury is one of the things there's no control over. So sitting out a player in what could be a meaningless game, it just like this is what you paid for.
True. So let's go ahead, hit City Talk, wrap this bad boy up. Tell me about the draft thing that was on your mind.
So yeah, there's a particular prospect that should have hit the transfer portal and maybe went to Ohio State or Miami. Cam Ward.
Okay.
The quarterback from Washington State, I believe. He entered the draft. And I'm just from doing my early little research. He's like the 125th ranked prospect. As a quarterback, why would you do
well,
that?
Has he been in school for 5 years?
4. He pulled his name out of the transfer portal.
So he's a true senior. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
He was a graduate transfer, and he was in conversations with Miami, I think Florida State, and Ohio State. And he just pulled his name. He was the top ranked quarterback in the transfer portal at that. He just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to the draft." Like I don't. Maybe you got a good evaluation, but all of the stuff I'm seeing got you as like a 4th or 5th round pick.
I mean, there's quarterback inflation, right? So maybe the physicals look really good and you're able to, and being a true senior, you're a little younger.
He's 6'2", he's 235, like, or 225. He's 6'2", 225. Like, he has the ideal size that you would probably want from a quarterback. He's kind of got that same Caleb Williams thing to him. He's probably a little more athletic, but he's the play after the play guy. But I just
do you feel like he's gonna like basically like scoop up draft boards by being able to like look really good in shorts, like look really good in the workout and get some people to not look at the tape?
Yeah, because he's got an arm, like, so he's gonna look good in the workouts. And it happens every year. Teams fall for the guy that's in the shorts and t-shirt that could throw the ball against air really well.
Yeah, I mean, hell, that's how Zach Wilson got drafted. That is 100% how Zach Wilson got drafted, and people put him above Fields.
Malik Willis too.
Malik Willis, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I was one of them guys. I apologize. Players fuck up. It's not an exact science.
It's not. You can't really know how guys are gonna move when the bullets are live. But I think when it really boils down to it,
no. But when I knew I was wrong about Zach Wilson was the draft night, and I don't know if you've seen the video of him with the other prospect. He was sending them to Marquez and the other guy, and they all like, yeah, and then he's like,
oh
like,
yeah,
so uncomfortable. I'm like, yeah, kid, you ain't it.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to be in a locker room, bro. Nah, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that players like that, because like DJ Ugalade, right? He's going to Florida State.
Yeah, he's talking about transferring. Oh, so he did transfer
to Florida State.
I'm surprised he still got time. I feel like this dude been in college since I was in high school.
That COVID year get you. That COVID year get you, bro. I think in all truth and honesty, when you look at it, these guys they're able to play, and a lot of them look at the ability to go to the league is not something that they want to do, right? Then you got people who want to take the challenge, and it's like, okay, so who cares if I'm a 3rd or 4th round pick? If I get into a camp, if I get into the right situation, I feel like I'm gonna be able to push for that starting role, right? Not saying it's right or it's wrong. I don't have a good evaluation on the kid. Yeah. I ain't finna sit here and tell you I've been grinding Washington State tape. That's a lie and a half.
I mean, I haven't been grinding it. Like, I'm just basing this pure off this information I've seen in other places. I haven't done any of the evaluations for myself. I looked the highlights up just to see, like, okay, let me just see who this guy is,
Mm-hmm.
because like I didn't hear his name at all until they was like, oh yeah, he declared for the job. I'm like, who the fuck is
Yeah,
this?
not factual. But maybe not even the evaluation. If you get like because they give you a lot of information. They give you prototypes. They give you comps. They give you past history of people who were selected like from your range and whatnot. So like if he got something that said, "Hey, you're gonna go in the fourth round," and then kind of on some superstar Madden type stuff, you're like, if you have if you show these measurables, you could be late third, early two. I mean, you could be late two, early three. I mean, yeah, that's worth leaving school for.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
always a proponent of running backs leaving early. You know what I'm saying? Running backs and wide receivers, if you had the physicality to do so, I'm always a proponent of them leaving early. My quarterbacks, I would like 4 or 5 years. I'm not going to lie. I want you to be a bit seasoned when you leave. But
Unless you just that guy, then
yeah,
I'm cool with 3.
but these 6 and 7 year quarterbacks, I gotta take them with a grain of salt.
That's too. That's too much
Yeah,
for me. That's
I
too much for
gotta
me.
take them with a grain of salt because their last couple year numbers, I don't even feel like are real.
Yeah, because it's like it took you this long to finally get it together. It's just like I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's why I like Jaden Daniels. He's what 5 years.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
his 5th year, and he's like fucking, I'm
yeah,
going out. So that makes sense.
yeah,
That's
and I
fine.
think he's still.
5 years is probably the
I think he still
max.
had a year eligibility.
He does. He did. But he decided to go pro, and it made sense. You won the Heisman. Go out while your name is the hottest.
Yeah, I mean it's not much else left. So you guys appreciate it, y'all. This has been the Birds of a Feather podcast. Please look for us on all socials. They're all in the links. They're all in the bios. This has been your boy Q City.
Your boy Tyler
We
Papaya.
out.
Peace.